Okay, Chad, let's get on some strength training exercises to help you perform better in baseball. We'll be doing 2 exercises today, and this is just kind of to start your training. So for this session, it's going to focus more on form instead of the weights you can actually do. This is because you might not be used to some of these exercises or familiar with the proper way to perform the exercises. First, let's do barbell Romanian deadlifts. So I'm going to show you the proper way to do it, and then you will be able to do the movement. I'm going to have a front view and a sideways view. If I need to make any corrections or changes or little cues based off of how you do it, since this is an introduction to the movement itself for you. So to start, let's put our feet shoulder width apart, and because we are practicing the form, we're just going to start off with the bar, and when it comes to hand placements, you want your palms facing inwards, and we're also going to start at a upwards position. So you palms inwards, and when it comes to grip width, what's going to happen is your thumbs want to just be one length away from your hips, and then also when you're doing this, you want your chin tucked, so you can have a neutral spine position all the way through the motion, and make sure you activate your lats at the beginning. So when performing the motion, you want to have a slight bend in the knees, and then the idea of shifting the weight back and also your hips back to the wall. This is also called a hip hinge. And then make sure you keep your back straight, chin down, and you should feel a slight stretch at your hamstrings. And this should be around where when you pass the bar right past your knees, and that's when you should pause and then fire your hips and your hamstrings to the standing position. Now, Chad, let's see you try it.
First, let's just use the bar for this movement. This is one of your main lifts that focuses on your lower body pull. Later on in the progression of this specific exercise, you'll be performing this for 4 to 6 sets and 1 to 5 repetitions of rep max. This will focus on maximal strength as it closely reflects the components of baseball. Tempo for this will be the descent or eccentric portion 2 seconds, pause for 1 second, and the ascending or concentric portion for 1 second. To repeat, you're going to start with a standing position and perform the RDL for 5 reps. I will observe and provide cues or technique corrections to help you learn. Chin tuck, back straight, contract your lats, slight bend in the knees, keep the bar close to your body, hip hinge, descend for 2 seconds, and until you feel a stretch in the hamstrings, pause, then explode up. Don't forget to breathe. When doing an exercise that focuses on maximal strength, the rest should be no less than 3 minutes. Okay, I'm going to have a look at the side view to make sure everything is just properly done. So first thing is, I see your chin isn't tucked and your back is arching when you're ascending. Just make sure that you're keeping a neutral spine position and you aren't breaking form after the completion of the exercise. Hey Chad, I'm still seeing some mistakes, so let's just do a movement you're more comfortable with and not focus on the bar. So ways to regress this exercise is by performing just the movement with no bar. You can also properly introduce this exercise with dumbbells. Dumbbells can be used for performing an RDL, or even a standard deadlift where you pick up the dumbbell off the ground. Ways to progress the exercise is to increase the weight of the exercise by determining Chad's rep max, and also by doing a conventional deadlift.
For the next exercise, I'm going to demonstrate the proper way to perform the half kneeling landmine press, and then I'll let you perform the exercise. I'll watch you from a front and sideways viewpoint to make sure that you're performing this correctly. Okay, so to start, let's put the bar in a upwards position. And our hands are going to be wrapped around the bar at the superior end. And you also want the palms of your hand facing medially. And whichever knee you're going to be placing down, it's going to be determined by which hand you're using. So I'm using my right arm, so I'm going to have my right knee down. The knee needs to be in an upright position with a 90-degree angle, and the inside of your knee should also be in line with the inside of your ankle. So you want to make sure that is straight. You also want your chin to be tucked for a neutral spine position all the way through the motion. And yeah, so when performing the motion, your toes are going to be tucked, your glutes are going to be squeezed, you want your rib cage to be down, and your free hand is placed on your hip. So performing, for the performing arm, a method of setting up can be placing your bicep to your ear, and you can bring your bicep to your side and then explode to the position of the starting motion. Okay, Chad, come on. It's your turn to try.
So let's only use the bar for this movement. This is one of your main lifts that focuses on an upper body vertical push. Later on in the progression of this specific exercise, you'll be performing this for 3 to 5 sets and 5 to 7 repetitions. This will focus on strength hypertrophy as it closely reflects the components of baseball. The tempo will be for the descent or eccentric portion 3 seconds, pause for 2 seconds, and then the ascension or concentric portion for 1 second. To repeat, you're going to start at an upper arm position and perform the half kneeling landmine press for 7 reps. I will observe and provide cues or technique corrections to help you learn. Chin tuck, toes tucked as well, contract your glutes, and knee in a 90-degree angle. Make sure you have your bicep to your ears so you can train the shoulder in a healthy way based on the angle. Make sure your hips don't fly out and have a straight back. Descend for 3 seconds, pause for 2, and then explode up. Don't forget to breathe. When doing this exercise that focuses on hypertrophy, the rest should be 2 to 3 minutes. From a front view, I can see some mistakes with the movement. Your hips aren't aligned, and a way to fix this is to place your thumbs on your hip bone, or anatomically speaking, this is your ASIS. This can help you align your hips as you can physically see where your hips are. Also, make sure your non-working arm stays on your hip. Okay, I'm going to have a look at the side view to make sure this is properly done. Make sure your knees in a 90-degree angle and that the front foot is always on the ground for the duration of the exercise. Hey Chad, I'm still seeing some mistakes with your hips, so let's just do a movement you're more comfortable with. So ways to regress from this exercise is to do a tall kneel landmine press where you don't need to focus on flaring of the hips, and also by reducing weight if the movement is being negatively affected. Ways to progress this exercise is to increase the weight of the exercise and also to do a split stance landmine press and further progress to a standing landmine press.